What's up everyone, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from the Great Lakes Brewing Company, and they're out of Cleveland, Ohio, and this is their 35th anniversary barrel-aged Imperial Amber Lager. So they're calling this one a lager aged in bourbon barrels. It comes in at 12.1% alcohol by volume, 27 IBUs at the time of review. This bottle is just under 3.5 months old. So this was the special anniversary beer they released for their 35th anniversary. They were established in 1988, and I have the Great Lakes 25th anniversary glass here that I picked up back in 2013, and this is an interesting beer, an Imperial Amber Lager aged in bourbon barrels. Now, they did say, I don't know if they have a spiel here on the side. Oh yeah, right here it says, join our 35th anniversary celebration with this limited edition Imperial Amber Lager inspired by one of our original 1988 recipes aged in bourbon barrels, and they're using Bulleit bourbon barrels. So you don't see a lot of barrel-aged beers from Great Lakes that make distro pretty much their barrel-aged blackout stout and their barrel-aged Christmas ale, and then outside of that, I really don't see too much from them. So I'm really excited to give this one a go. You don't see a lot of, Imperial Amber Lagers in general, let alone barrel-aged ones from American breweries. So yeah, I'm here for it. I hope it's delicious, and we're gonna give it a pour into this other anniversary glass that's 10 years prior, which I think is pretty crazy. I love this glass though. It's like one of my favorite glasses to use, and anytime I have a Great Lakes beer, I always use it because hashtag proper glassware. Yeah. All day, every day. Not really proper, but maybe to some degree. Anyway, ooh, that's beautiful. That has this like deep, kind of like, I don't know. It's like a deep, like red color, but it's hard to explain. It's almost like bronze-like when in person. On camera, it's gonna look much darker than that. Yeah, maybe like a walnut kind of color on camera. In person, though, it has a nice clarity. It is a lager. It's just my camera's not great, so you're probably not going to see the clarity, although maybe you will. Has a decent amount of carbonation. Had about a finger of this light brown, I'd say more of like maybe a straight-on tan-colored head. Because of the ABV and probably the barrel aging and everything, you're not getting a lot of head retention. There's not a ton of alcohol legs on the side of glasses. Decent amount, but not crazy. But does it look great in this anniversary glass? Does it? I don't know. I wish the head retention was a little bit better, but then you get the Great Lakes on the other side. Does any of this matter? No, it doesn't. Let's get a dose. Oh my God, that smells great, but it smells boozy and the barrel is screaming. Yeah, there's a ton of vanilla. There's oak. There's this nice, like spicy, like bourbon. There's like caramel, toffee, brown sugar, but I'm getting this very distinct, like dark cherry note. Definitely a dark fruit, and I would say cherry. Oh yeah, for sure. There's a slight nuttiness. Whew, that bourbon is really big though. It's kind of, I won't say it's covering up the base beer, but it's the predominant note in the aroma, and it's big. Again, vanilla, spicy bourbon, or peppery kind of like bourbon. There's an oak presence. There's a decent amount of vanilla is what I'm really picking up on as well. Kind of, and I use this a lot in barrel-aged beers, but it's the truth. It's the Bullseye candies, the caramel with the vanilla swirl. Kind of, that's what I'm getting. But in like if there was like bourbon candies made of Bullseye, like bourbon Bullseye candies, that's kind of what this is in the nose. And then you eat one of those along with like a cherry cordial, because there's a little bit of like a dark chocolate here, very slight. Yeah, this it smells really good. 12.1%, you can tell it's a big beer, okay? Would I say this is, smelling this, I know it's a lager, no. I would just think this is just some kind of, big Imperial American Strong Ale. That's what I would say off the nose. But it smells really nice. Oh, what the? Okay, so here's another tasting note that I don't say a lot. Like recently I did a review of an IPA where I was like, oh, I'm getting pineapple, which a lot of people are like, what do you mean? Pineapples and all the hazies. It's like, I've been getting that a lot lately. The last couple months, I really haven't gotten a lot of pineapple in hazy IPAs. And here, I get something I very rarely get. There was a little bit of like a tobacco. Or like a cigar paper. Something like almost a cigar kind of like, yeah. I don't usually get, a lot of people will get that in like leather, and I don't say that often because I really don't pick up on it. I am getting that here. Very complex. It smells good though. Let's get into it. Cheers, everyone, and happy anniversary to Great Lakes, one of my favorite regional craft breweries, one of the craft breweries that I kind of cut my teeth with, when it came to craft beer, and, going back, 12, 13 years ago, picking up their stuff, and yeah, happy anniversary. That's really nice. And it's not as boozy in the taste that it was in the nose. Like, as soon as I swallowed it, yeah, there's a warming in the chest. Nice warming. Chest isn't on fire, just nice warming going down. It's nowhere near as complex as the nose, but it's a really, I want to say easy drinking. That's a wrong phrase to use, but maybe it's the right one. So body on this one, it's a bit thin at 12.1%. It's a lager, so I'll give it a break, but this is like higher side of medium, lower side of full. It definitely is thin for something that's 12.1%, but just take into consideration it's barrel aged, which usually thins out the beer. And then on top of that, it's an Imperial Amber Lager as opposed to like an actual like American Strong Ale or some kind of specific base that's not a lager. So I'll give it a pass, but it is definitely a bit thin. The mouthfeel, it's crisp. There is a crisp nature to this one. Moderately carbonated, but I will say there's a smoothness to this one. It's real smooth. For something that's 12.1% in barrel age, it just glides on the palate and there's no harsh flavors whatsoever on the palate. And as I continue to drink, the warming in my chest is getting bigger. Again, it's not on fire. It's not too much. It's leaving me with this nice warming sensation, which if I'm drinking something like this, that's what I want. The flavor, again, everything for the most part carried over to the taste, but it's not as punchy. It's not as vibrant. It's not as, dare I say, bombastic. Shout out to Paul over at PaTroll on the palate as it was in the nose. So right up front, the first thing that hits me, I'm getting caramel, a little bit of toffee, vanilla. Again, those bullseye candies for sure. As it continues to pass through, I get that cherry I was talking about. It's like a sweet black cherry, dark cherry. There is a little bit of like a nondescript stone fruit that isn't a cherry, like a darker stone fruit that I can't really, again, it's nondescript, I can't really specify, but there's some other kind of fruitiness there. A little bit of like a molasses, slight molasses. Touch of brown sugar. Halfway through the palate, though, I get a little bit of that tobacco. It's like a tobacco, it's like a cigar paper. It's kind of something in that realm. But then on the back of the palate, I'm hit with the barrel aging. It's, again, spicy, peppery bourbon. There's vanilla and there's oak. And I'm left with this nice full-on dryness. And there's a little bit of like an oak tannin dryness, but it's not punching me in the face with the oak tannins, which is nice. A lot of times that happens. I'm not here for it. So it's subtle, and I really do welcome that. This doesn't really have much of a bitterness, like a mild bitterness. It's more dry than anything, and it's full on dry. So while this is a nice nightcap, end of the night kind of sipper, it isn't too sweet to be a dessert beer, and it's also not too dry and too bitter to kind of be like, I don't really, this is something you sip on for the next hour, hour and a half. I'll probably take me an hour to drink this. And each sip, it's very nice, it's warming, it's pleasant, and it's pretty well balanced as a whole. The only like real knock to this one is I think I would like the body to be a little bit more viscous because of the ABV. But I think it hides the alcohol. I shouldn't say it hides the alcohol, but it's not too boozy at 12.1%, which is nice. You get a lot of nice flavors here. Again, tasting this, would I be able to tell you it's a lager? There is a somewhat like cleanness to the beer, but I don't think I would be able to tell you this is specifically an Imperial Amber Lager. I don't think I would. I think my guess would be like, like an old ale. I wouldn't say necessarily barley wine, but I would probably just go like American Strong Ale. That's why I would probably leave it, but who the fuck cares? Like whatever this is, it's good. It's really good, and I'm enjoying it. It's not amazing, it's not mind-blowing, but I think it's appropriate for an anniversary beer. I'm very happy for an anniversary beer. They did something that's kind of outside the box. They're like, hey, let's do an Imperial Amber Lager. We'll barrel age it. Let's give it a go. Awesome, and it's inspired by one of their original 1988 recipes. So the 35th anniversary barrel-aged Imperial Amber Lager from Great Lakes, I have no issues whatsoever giving this one a straight 4.25 out of 5. I think that's where this beer lands. Can't go much higher than that, but as is, that's a pretty good score, and it's something that I would recommend everybody out there trying if you can get your hands on a single of this. Give it a go, see what you think about this. It's just a fun, somewhat unique experience for me anyway. And price point availability, in my neck of the woods, this was $20 a 4-pack. It might be cheaper wherever you are. If this was as cheap as like $16 a 4-pack, that'd be a fucking fantastic value. And if it's as much as like $22 to $24, I would advocate buying a single and not entire 4-pack to see if you like it. But I think for $5 a bottle for something that is cool like this, it's for lack of a better word, this is just a cool beer. It's fun and it's damn enjoyable. So availability with Great Lakes, I don't know if they have a beer finder on the website. They probably do, but they get decent distro at this point. So especially if you're in like the Midwest, Mid-Atlantic, maybe a little bit into the southern regions, probably like, you know, maybe like North Carolina, maybe even to like Virginia. I'd say more Mid-Atlantic into the Midwest, maybe even in New England area. I don't know how far into the New England area they get, but if you've had this one before, comment section, let me know what you thought about it, because this is a nice, again, nightcap beer. And you know, I'm starting to feel nice. Again, it's warming in the chest and in the stomach. I'm gonna drink the rest of that by the end of the night. I'm gonna be feeling a-okay, and I'm gonna be happy with the flavors of this one. So I appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. Once again, happy anniversary to Great Lakes. I need to get back there at some point into the Cleveland area and go drink beer straight from the source, because I think it'd be a great time. Anyway, to the next one. Cheers.